Hello, my name is Lee. I'm the manager of a record label called Bit-Phalanx. We are based in East London and we specialise in a whole variety of electronic-based music. We cover everything from very pretty melodic, ambient, chill-out kind of music, everything that's quite folk-orientated, classically influenced, and then we move right the way up to kind of more dubstep stuff, electro, glitchy avant-garde stuff, and right the way up to breakcore and drum and bass and whatnot, and everything in between. We've been going since around 2006 and kind of operating in more typical record label territory since around 2009. We've had several commercial releases out and have taken part in 2 national tours. So it's kind of been on the way up for a few years now, which is always nice to know. And since it's been about a year or 2 now, we've been collaborating with Kelli gradually and building things together for her Band of Angels project. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about those. It's kind of a collaboration of 2 parts, and the first part has been the designing of the album and the artwork and the cover work and how the general visual side to the album. Over the last couple of years, I've been doing most of Bit-Phalanx's designs for album covers, merchandise, flyers, posters and whatnot, and about 2 years ago Kelli introduced me to an old friend of hers, this wonderful, crazy Japanese electronic vocalist and musician called Koppei, who for the last 2 years Bit-Phalanx has been working quite closely with, and I've designed several CDs for her and this beautiful elaborate box set design for her last album, which was released earlier this year, and it's this beautiful, crazy kind of CD and USB box set. It's very bespoke, crazy packaging, and off the back of that was when Kelli and I decided to start really knuckling down with our collaboration and knocking ideas around, because I was kind of on a bit of a roll. It's something that I personally have been collaborating with Kelli on for the best part of 2 years now, very slowly and gradually. And it's been a wonderful kind of meeting of minds, and I've really got to kind of pick Kelli's brains and get to see how she operates visually and how she kind of ties her ideas together. So it's been a really revealing process, and I think we've become quite close friends because of how many kind of ideas we've been sharing. And so yeah, this album is very much a case of this dark, brooding but very romantic, very luscious, and very kind of not secretive, but it reveals a lot of secrets. It's very expressive and talks about these very intimate themes that are on the kind of the fine edge of being dark and light. And Kelli just wanted a very straightforward symbol or a logo just to represent it, bang, right there. And she sent me this lovely little sketch of this kind of logo / coat of arms / emblem that she had in a dream or something, I can't remember. And it's this very symmetrical kind of design, which is not too far from a coat of arms, kind of the principle of one, with this lots of iconography from Kelli's career, like the pentangle and the Vive la Rock and Roll scroll and a few other kind of pictograms and iconography from her career that's featured throughout her artwork over the years. And so these very recognisable Kelli Alley symbols, and she wanted to bring them all together in something very powerful that just, it's like a stamp, it's a seal. And she sent me lots of kind of coat of arms and pictures of these kind of very regal, authoritative kind of emblems as reference points. And the problem with most royal coat of arms and things like that is they're really over the top, they're really elaborate, they're crammed full of these quite camp unicorns and mirrored lions and castles and knights and daggers and all kinds of crap. Just so much stuff kind of glued in there. They're very over the top and very camp. So we needed to kind of strip it back but keep that symmetrical principle to kind of draw you in and represent something quite powerful, and to have a bit of authority to it. And so yeah, I took this kind of sketch that she had and tried to stay as true to it as possible, because I really got the idea that she had in mind for it. It's this stamp, that's it. And so we experimented with quite a few things, and because it's Band of Angels, wings were going to be quite a big part of the design. And so we started with this very kind of totem-like, rigid, just very rigid, outright, angular totem wings, which just wasn't in the right direction at all. So we moved on to kind of more natural-looking wings, like raven wings. I think they were the next draft, and it was a lot softer and heading in the right direction, but still not quite there. It didn't feel... It felt more kind of like Native American rather than this more kind of Transylvanian, perhaps a bit more vampiric kind of look that we were going for. So they kind of evolved again, and they evolved into more kind of eagle feathered, angel feathered, and as soon as I was kind of playing around with the wings and I kind of glued those ones together, it just worked. It became this very encompassing logo that kind of hugged the album. Sounds a bit bombastic, but it did hug everything. And after that we kind of decided, well, we need a bit more, maybe it needs to be a bit busier, maybe we need to incorporate more logos, and so we decided to kind of incorporate her panther tattoo, which has been a bit of a trademark of hers since back in the day. And it just started to come together really, really quickly after that. And yeah, I think we've ended up with a really beautiful logo that really stands the test of time, and I think it really kind of Band of Angels, which is exactly what she wanted, just something quite, strong, powerful, personal, representative, but is Band of Angels, you'd recognise it. And I think the best analogy I've heard so far for it is that it's kind of like a cross between a motorbike hood ornament or a car hood ornament and a biker's belt buckle, which I really like. I think that really sums it up just right. The cover idea itself has grown since then, because a little while ago now, Kelli did this beautiful photo shoot with a great photographer called Taya Udin, and I don't know if they intended it to be kind of cover art photography or they were just going to do it as like a promotional shoot, but the images were just fantastic and they really got the vibe of the album beautifully. And they ended up with this very kind of Pocahontas meets Vivienne Westwood on a Harley kind of, that's how I describe it anyway. I don't know if that's the theme they were going for. But yeah, so they've got this very Pocahontas, Vivienne Westwood punky kind of vibe going on. And it just tied in beautifully with the logo and the kind of the general layout that we were going for with the whole, the artwork and the digipack design that we're having for the CD. And yeah, so what we decided, let's try and incorporate these things together, see if they work together, and it was just going really smoothly, really, really well. And Kelli shot me over some kind of album covers of her, kind of from her collection, that really inspired her and really thought would tie in with the symmetry of the album and really kind of bring it all together. And two covers were a Nico compilation, the titles escaped me, can't remember what it's called, sorry. And which is very kind of almost Egyptian-like. It has two Nikos back to back, very Sphinx-like, very the kind of Egyptian cats back to back, and again it draws you in. And the other album cover was Skullfrap's Felt Mountain, which is this very kind of symmetrical design, which is almost like a Rorschach test. So, but yeah, we've gone for this very kind of very encompassing, all about Kelli, all about her kind of history, her iconography, and this very symmetrical, beautiful image that ties in this fantastic photo shoot that she did with the logo. So I'm really, really proud of the design. It's been a fantastic collaboration with Kelli, and across the merchandise, across the album cover, across the design and the layout and everything else that we've done, it really feels like the start of a whole new era for Kelli. And I think with the Pledge campaign that she's done, getting her fans involved, and a bit of a new musical direction for her, definitely a new musical direction. And so yeah, it just feels like the whole start of a new era, and I think visually, and I hope Kelli does as well, I think she does, I think we've captured that, and I really hope that her fans enjoy it.
Sent in the light.